Hey, welcome everybody to the live stream again. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I want to give a shout out to the NTZ crew. I see Michael Tanjay's on here. I'm pretty sure Michael Beach of Life is on here. He's down in Tacloban City, lady. I'm sure Jacob Tanjay is going to be on here. Any new viewers and subscribers to the live stream, anybody catching me on replay, and also all my old heads. I see you on here, Will Sutton. He says the nitty gritty. Well, I'm going to keep on giving it to you, whether they like it or not. I'm going to tell you to keep scrolling because I'm going to touch on that a little bit today. Y'all love that 99% fantasy that you're getting on YouTube in the Philippines and that 1% facts. I give you the balance, Will. Thank you, brother. There's Michael Beach Alive. To Cloven City. If you've never been to Cloven City, man, I say go. It's a nice place. The peso is 54.75, which is still great. Also, any of you fitness buffs, if you're in the Philippines, if you're over by Davao City, March 26th is the Iron Man Davao City. It's a 70.3, which they call it a half marathon. Well, if you think that's a piece of cake, then you try it. But it's going to be a big deal. I'll be in Cebu on the 26th. Otherwise, I'd go down there and watch it. And, today there's really no topic. I'm going to answer your questions of what I'm going to do. This is really going to be your live stream today. I'm going to go 5 down before I hit the new comments, then 5 down like that. And if there's no new comments, I go back up. I'm going to try to get all of your questions. Now, I want to send out our sincerest condolences to the victims of that massacre in Negros Oriental Saturday, which was yesterday. If anybody doesn't know, Negros Oriental Governor Roel Digamo was assassinated in his residence, along with 5 innocent victims, his constituents. They were giving out, I think, that 4Ps program, sort of like, aid to families in the Philippines. He was ambushed and he was murdered, man. And see, you want to talk about fantasy and you want to talk about facts, guys. This is a wake-up call to the realities of life in the Philippines. I don't think a foreign blogger should have to talk about stuff like this. Okay, but sometimes we're forced to do it. I don't know the details. I'm not going to go into that. I don't think it's going to help you any, but this is a big, big deal. This is international news. A sitting governor was assassinated in his home. This is an assault on authority. And it shook me up, man. It really has shaken me up, man. I don't know if you even knew this. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna go on. It's very, very dangerous, man, in that Negros Oriental part of the island, guys. Y'all don't even know this because I've never talked to you about it. It's not for me to talk to you about it. Okay, but a few years ago, it got so bad that the armed forces of the Philippines, they contemplated asking for martial law down there. I mean, the newspapers called it a bloodbath of something like 14 murders in 5 days. Keep a low profile there, man. These famous bloggers down there, right there in Negros Oriental, they're not going to tell you about that because they want to feed you this fantasy. And I'm not knocking them. I'm just saying they're giving you 99% fantasy, man. They're leaving out the facts. This is very important. I think you should know. All you people talking about going to Dumaguete, Valencia, and all that, man. It's not some walk in the park for real, guys. I've stayed away from it, but a sitting governor was assassinated there, man, in his own house. I mean, it's a big, big deal. This is going to be the time where you see a lot of international haters of the Philippines. They're going to put that out there. Now, they normally won't cover the Philippines, but when something like this happens, they will, and they'll tell you how dangerous it is and all to stay away from it. See, that's another one-sided argument. You got those haters, and then you got the ones over here who only want to feed you the fantasy, guys. But this is a sitting governor. Imagine, I'm from the state of Kentucky. If the governor of Kentucky was assassinated in his own home, they would shut the whole state down. Okay? Nobody moves, nobody gets hurt until we find out who did it. Now, kudos, and I take my hat off to the Philippine National Police and the President Marcos here. The minute it happened, he said, we will pull out all stops. We're going to find out who did that. And they captured the people within hours after it happened. But yeah, guys, you got to understand, even up there in Valencia, right here, remember now, some stuff just happened in Negros Oriental. Remember, the brother of the mayor of Valencia was murdered. And then 2 of the 3 people that were suspects in his murder were murdered when they were released out of jail, along with the Danish national's wife. I don't think she had anything to do with it. Okay, so I think we should start demanding a little bit more balance, guys, because y'all push back on me when I give you the 360. It just means 180 and 180. You got to give both sides of the story, man. I'm not going to keep feeding you this fantasy all the time, because I'm going to tell you something. It can ruin, too much fantasy can ruin your reality over here once you get here to the Philippines. Okay, now Phil Stevens said, what's your plan for me? Now, this is something that if you're not familiar with coming here to the Philippines and you know, dating Filipinas, this is the agreement that you entered into when you start fooling with them. Certainly when you start laying down with them, there's an agreement. So she's going to start saying, well, what's your plan for me? You got to live up to your agreement. Where's the visa? Let's get married. Let's get engaged. You know, I'm not a pastime now. You know, Will Sutton said the same thing. Yeah, it's going to happen. Don't be shocked about it. Women aren't over here playing. We're the only ones playing. They're dead serious. What's up, Michael Alexander? Thanks for all your support, brother. We're the only ones who are playing over here. You know, every video you see, somebody's coming over here and meeting a Filipino and all that. But that's the only thing you're going to see. You're not going to see the other side. I'm going to tell you something, guys. These women, they act a whole lot like all the other women that you meet around the world. Only difference is when you start fooling with them, they're going to clamp you like a bear claw. You're not going to be able to move. You're not going to be able to breathe. But nobody's going to tell you that but me. See, they don't tell you, see, that's what I'm saying about, I identify with Passport Bros because I support the movement. I've been had my passport forever. But this is a fad, guys. It's going to pass. Okay? But black men traveling around the world is not going to pass. But if all the Passport Bro movement is, every video you see now is, oh, look at the Filipino I got. He comes over here, look at him, he meets a Filipino. Guys, that's going to get old. It's going to get old quick. But one more thing before we get into these questions. A string of robberies at Nino Aquino International Airport has produced a uniform change. Okay, one Thai transit passenger was robbed of 8,000 pesos. A Chinese national had a watch stolen by an officer from the Office for Transportation. So now there's no jackets will be worn, and also no uniforms with pockets. Because when you're coming through there and they're scanning your luggage, any valuables in there, they were just taking them. Okay. Hey, Henry McMillan, thanks for that super sticker. And there's Michael Alexander. Thank you so much, brother, for that super chat. Let me get to these real quick because I always like to show them. It's nothing that I take for granted. Thank you, Henry. And thank you, Michael. But yeah, guys, be careful. Don't put no valuables in there anyway. You're just asking for it. What's going on, Elette Mercado? I haven't forgotten about you. Eddie Sanders says, could a life insurance salesman live and work in the Philippines without too much issue? Absolutely, man. The Philippine government is not going to be snooping in your window when you're sitting there making phone calls on your Magic Jack or your Talk 360 or whatever it is that you're using to make those international calls. You're working remotely from the Philippines. Now, the only thing you're probably going to have to worry about is making sure you have good enough Wi-Fi. Okay? Global Rismo Black Man said, terrifying story where dozens of journalists and civilians were slaughtered. Yeah, that's back in 2009. Raymond King says, thank you for telling us the truth, my brother Cal. I was wondering when someone was going to tell us about this incident. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I don't want to harp on it. I don't know the details. And even if I did, I wouldn't discuss them. It's none of my business. But this is the thing that will shake you, man, to the core when you get over here. It's the realities that you're not at home. Things happen over here. Things work a whole lot differently over here. But everybody's focused in the fantasy part of the Philippines. It's going to ruin your trip when you get over here. You don't believe me? Ask my buddy Mike. When he got over here, he thought that Filipinos were going to be lined up outside the airport with flowers waiting for him. Okay, if you want to keep on believing that stuff, then go ahead. I'm sorry. Get rid of this guy, guys. I got rid of him. These guys, they come on here, man. They don't have nothing else to do. It's crazy that Phil Stevens says these sugarcoating vloggers are going to get people hurt. It is. You got to give them both sides. But when I give you both sides, they push back on me. Yeah, see, that's not my question, guys, about that. See, I'm not going to get involved in this, Willie. This is what will get you hurt over here. You can do that. You're 8,000 miles away. I'm not going to get any details. He said, yeah, they captured the shooters. The real question is, are they going to capture the person who put the hit out? Well, yeah, that's not for me to worry about. But I just want to let you know that it's not all peaches and cream down there in Negros Oriental, guys. I'm just letting you know. I love the Philippines. I've fallen in love with it, but I'm not going to tell you everything good without talking about some of the real life stuff that goes on. I've got a real life channel. So when I start talking about real life stuff, like I talked about on my video yesterday, y'all get mad. Oh, all men aren't the same. You can't speak for all men. I'm not speaking for all men. That's just my perspective, guys, okay? Thomas Boughton says, I commend you for addressing the ambush. I agree. Most bloggers in Dumageddon are not going to get reality. They're not. But they get all your support, which I'm not hating on them, guys. Everybody's got their own support. YouTube is a popularity contest, really. That's what it really boils down to. If people like you, they're going to watch you. It doesn't really matter what you're saying. Matthew Hall says, Timothy, you get used to it just like living in proximity of a train tracks. Henry McMiller says, is Metro Manila safe? Or is about the same? Well, really, basically, it is. The Philippines is, I feel safer here. But remember, I'm a foreigner. Okay? Will a Filipino say it's safer here? You got to ask these Filipino vloggers. Come on, guys. We got to need more from them besides these interviews and pretty faces. That's a question for the Filipino to answer. I'm going to give it to you straight from me. As a foreigner, I feel as comfortable here as I do in the United States. Okay. I think it's safer. But remember, I'm on the outside looking in. Metro Manila has the highest crime rate in the Philippines, but of course it would with all those people crammed into one small area. But as you get out of Metro Manila and you start filtering out in the Philippines, man, it thins out, guys. You know, it's very little crime here in Negros, in San Carlos City. If you go to Lady, where Michael Beach of Life is, uh, or McLady, which is about 2 hours from where he is, that's the lowest crime rate in the Philippines. You know, I always say it's safe for me because I really don't know people, Henry. I don't know um, who you're going to deal with, where you're going to go. Do you drink? Do you use drugs? See, I don't know all of that. So I'm not going to say, oh, it's safe over here for you. It's safe for me. And I'm not trying to be, uh, you know, a smart ass or nothing, Henry. More than likely, when you come over to the Philippines, you're not going to have any problems, man. Nimi Lindez, Nima Lindez is how you feel about the new U.S. bases. Are there new U.S. bases, or is this like a joint venture between the U.S. and the Philippines? Well, believe it or not, guys, the U.S. has been over here for quite some time. It's just that, you know, with this agreement that they signed, the U.S. is not supposed to be entering into any conflicts over here or even helping the Philippine government with any, you know, military action or something like that. But man, those advisors have never left. Remember, I've been coming over since 2009. I lived on and off in Zamboanga in Mindanao for since 2010 for about uh, 10 years. I saw military, U.S. military there all the time. They never really left, guys. You know, we're allied of the Philippines, and with this China thing heating up, really more on the U.S. side than anything else, um, you know, it gives them an excuse to come back over here. I don't have a problem with it. Seth Rook says, you missed the USA. It's a lot about America I miss, obviously. But you got to realize I lived there for 55 years. And there's a lot of life outside of the USA. There's sacrifices you have to make, Seth. Nothing comes, you can't get something for nothing. You know, but yeah, of course I miss it. I've got children, I got grandchildren, friends, and family, but I don't miss it enough to move back. Yeah, I'm not going to move back. I may go to visit. Retired 2019 said, Calvin, you're the real deal. Much respect. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. You know, I appreciate people who can just kind of understand what I'm trying to do over here. I'm an older guy, man. I'm 60 years old. I'm speaking to older men, basically, on my channel. I can't talk about this teeny weeny stuff all the time, man. It's teenage stuff all the time. We got to talk about real stuff over here, man, because if you're really serious about visiting here or staying here, it's more than dating, okay? Bijan Bain says, I touched down in Thailand April 12th, never been to Southeast Asia. 50-50 shot I get over to the Philippines. I would say come on over because it's only like a 2.5 hour flight. It didn't even seem that long, but I'm sure it was when we went last June. I'm certainly going back to Thailand. I loved it there. It hasn't left my mind. And people seem to think I got something against Thailand. I don't. I just live here, man. I love the Philippines better than anything else. Retired in flip-flops said, Calvin, I love the video from early today. It made me realize that I'm looking to be relevant again. I didn't even know until you woke me up today. Well, you know, it's just, I put that stuff out there. I woke up with it on my mind. Like, why do we really come over here, guys? You know, it's not really for women, for real. It's for us. We come over here for us. We very seldom as human beings do anything for anybody else. I mean, it's always about us first, you know. U.S. traveler International Travel says, I'm in Anglo City now. I was living in Dumaguete for 3 years before. Yeah, I was just like people to know I love Dumaguete. I wouldn't live there though. And when I tell guys, I say, look, man, when you come over here to the Philippines, keep a low profile. And they say, well, how can you say that you're a vlogger? I still keep a low profile, guys. You don't know who the bad guys are, who the good guys are, who the important people are, who the VIPs. I treat everybody the same. I'm not arguing with any locals. I'm not walking around my chest out, talking down to people, looking down to people. Because, man, people over here have power that would be illegal in the United States. You're talking about a sitting governor was assassinated in his house, guys. That's nothing to play with. The international news, the Western news is going to take that and they're going to drag the Philippines in the mud through that because they never want to talk about the good things over here. See, I knock that. You can't do that. You can't just talk about the bad. But you certainly just can't talk about the good either. It's a mix. And I don't get too involved. I don't know the details. You know, I'm sorry. But it shook me, man. It really has shaken me, to be honest with you, when something like that happens. Hey, Camilla Cookie, thanks for that super sticker. Wendy, I really appreciate you and your husband. Andre Warren said, doesn't old dog New Tricks live in Dumaguete? I think he lives in Valencia. But the point is, you know, a lot of those guys, they're going to say it's none of their business. But you can talk about that stuff in a general way. You can say, hey, man, you know, it got so bad here in 2019. I'm sure he was here in 2019 because I was. And I think he's been here consistently longer than me. He could at least brought it up and said, you know, it got so bad here that the armed, well, I'm going to read it. It says, the armed forces of the Philippines studied the possibility of martial law in Negros Oriental Province. I think that's important, okay? That somebody, if you're going to be over here vlogging, that you should at least say that. You don't have to go in any detail, okay? I met Phil. I know your girl's asking you. He's got a Morena girlfriend, nice looking. I met them at the meet and greet. Jack Wallfinger said, good morning, my friend. So much good information you put out. Getting married, wow. At the Shangri-La in 15 days. Moving to Dumaguete at the end of April. Hope I can meet up with you sometime. Yeah, I'm going to tell you something, guys, about, I love Dumaguete. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't live there, though. One of my subscribers from Australia, he loves General Santos. He lived there for years, okay? He was like, Calvin, it's changed since you've been there. He was giving me the ins and outs. He said it's the most livable city. He lives in Dumaguete now. He says, it's the worst mistake I made. I said, well, why did you do it? He said, Calvin, I really don't know. I think it had something to do with the pandemic. But yeah, he said he moved from General Santos to Dumaguete. It was the worst thing it was the worst decision he ever made. But congratulations, Jack. Let me see. We're going to be there the 26th. So we'll probably get there early on the 26th to the 28th. So I'm going to miss your wedding, man. What's up, Alpine? He said, dang, what happened? Well, Negros Oriental Governor Roel Degamo and 5 of his constituents were murdered inside his residence. He was serving the people at the time, by the way. That's big, big news, man. They're going to drag the Philippines in the mud for it. And I feel sorry for the Philippines because they hardly ever, you know, talk about the Philippines unless it's something bad. He said, good things don't sell with the media. That's right. They dwell on the bad. That's exactly right. Let's see. It says, the dog is running one. He said, can you please put out some videos for the young guys under 30? I don't agree with everything you say, but I do have some respect for you, old soul. But how can I do that? How can I put out, I'm giving you my boots on the ground experience, man. You know, you got to go to those other channels for these younger, I mean, you know, I can't tell you in a general way when you come over here. Most of you guys, excuse me, most of you younger guys are going to want to stay in the big cities, Manila, Cebu, Dumaguete, General Santos, Iloilo City, Bacolod City, Angeles City, up at Subic Bay, because that's where everything uh, that you like to do is. I don't party anymore and all that stuff. Phil Cooper says, I feel real safe here. Perhaps I'm being naive, but there hasn't been a spot I've felt uneasy. I shut my mouth. I'm humble and I don't act out. Mind your own business, you'll be fine. That's the way I see it. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But I never tell anybody that it's safe here. I always say it's safe for me. Because you got people coming over here, man, they're drinking, they're drugging, they're chasing women in places I would never go. They're going places I would never go. And so I say, hey, you got to be careful, man. You're not at home. For some reason, we have a one-track mind. We think that everything works the same around the world as it does at home. Joseph Asbury, thank you for that super chat. He said, I love your work. Extremely informative and insightful. I will visit Manila, Corregidor, and a few other places soon. Low profile, under the radar, all the way. Planning to move there soon, working on early retirement and leaving. See, this is a good plan. You don't have to have a big, loud motorcycle, chains, and all that stuff, man. You got to come over here, man, and fit in to the Philippines, man. Put it on like a damn coat. Let it fit you. Take that clay I told you and fashion out a lifestyle for yourself, man. There's no two lifestyles the same over here. But yeah, it is sad news. And but sadder news is no, you got to get that from me. Which you heard the senator the other day. He said it's okay for Filipinos to talk about the issues affecting Filipinos. He said, but a foreigner doing it won't be tolerated. Now he was talking about a movie, The Plane. Okay, so then what I like about the media over here now, they still got the editorial page. Somebody comes right behind him, a Filipino writer. I put the link in that video, by the way, that I did. And he says, criminality in the Philippines, fact or fiction. And he put the fiction up there of the airplane crash, and then, the plane movie, and then all the facts that's going on over here in the Philippines. And he said, if you're worried about the reputation of the Philippines, why don't you fix all this over here? And, but they're not going to tolerate that from me. So I don't do it. I know my boundaries over here, guys. That's why I'm saying you got these gigantic Filipino vloggers over here that y'all literally kiss their ass. You don't demand that from them. Look, I want to know, is it safe where I'm going over there? You can tell me. Sunshine Shoulders really can't tell me. I've got to really kind of skirt around the edges. I can't get deep like they can get. Hey, thank you, JT Brown, for that super chat. So keep us informed, Calvin. See you soon. Yeah, see, I don't want to get in trouble. I was talking to my buddy today, Patrick. We become like good friends, man. He's been here for about a couple of weeks. And, I said, our views aren't good views. I don't want views if it's going to cost me my life over here, or it's going to cost me getting blacklisted over here. Okay? It's not worth it. But I'm saying, fantasy, man, can ruin your trip to the Philippines, guys. I'm going to keep on saying it. You can't keep on looking at all these sugary coated videos. It's going to mess you up, just like it did Mike. He really believed that. It's a lot of guys that believe that when they come here, the Filipinos just going to fall at their feet and all of that stuff. It don't work like that. It does not work like that, guys. It never did. These women over here aren't stupid. Hey, D. Gordon Adventure King said, you tight, Cal. Thanks. Yum, yum, LaChine. Dana Miller said, hello, Cal. What's going on? I've got a wave of travelers heading your way over the next 5 months. Well, you know, the Negros Oriental governor was assassinated in his own house, man. This is big news. This is international news. They're going to use it the way that they want to use it. If you turn on CNN right now, it's probably on there now, guys. Okay? A sitting governor. Imagine wherever state you're from over there, you know, Australia, somewhere like that, and the governor of your state was assassinated in his own house. They would shut the whole state down. So, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, I stay in my lane over here because I'm not at home. I'm a guest over here. But I can talk about stuff in a general way, and that's what I do. But any of you fitness buffs, I want to tell you, there's a half Ironman, and I say that with all due respect. It's a 70.3 Ironman in Davao City, March 26th. They consider that the half marathon. Look, guys, you couldn't probably do a fourth marathon, but it will be something nice to watch. And you know what made me bring it up was we were walking today and we saw a lady jogging, and it looked like she could compete in this competition. Let's see. Rome Malone says, nice man. Love the Philippines. I love it. Met some really cool people. Just wandering around Pasay. I like Makati. Going to check out BGC. Yeah. Well, you better bring your wallet with you. I tell you that right now. The dog is running. Says, what's with the violence? Is it related to religion, Muslims, or Christians? I don't really know, you know. But, you know, politics is a dangerous game over here. And I tell anybody, man, don't come over. You know, we love to discuss politics in America, right? Don't do that over here. It's none of your business. We don't vote. We don't pay taxes over here. Leave that stuff alone. But it's a dangerous game over here. And when something like that happens, don't sit well with me, man. Even though I'm not a citizen here, it's really shook me to the core, man, when something like that happens. I mean, it's just too close to me. I just came back home yesterday. Was it yesterday? I came through that right past that way where he was killed. Raymond King says, people don't realize the politics over there is dangerous to say too much. And God knows I don't want nothing to happen to my brother Cal and his family. He's already stuck his neck out. Yeah, you know, as far as I know where to go, guys, you know, I'm not going to rattle any cages because I know my place over here. Okay? I'm just telling you, when y'all thought I was spouting off the other day about expecting more in return from these vloggers, man, we give them massive, massive amounts of support. We should demand more from them in return. This is their country. We're guests here. If you come to Louisville, Kentucky, I'm going to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, everything in between. I'm not going to leave anything out. Hey, thank you, Darius Ellis, for that super chat. He said, great work, Calvin. I'm 27 in the military, 12 more years until retirement. Besides saving, what else should I do if you were in my shoes? I would, you know, research some of the places, some of my options. But you've been in the military, I don't know, you didn't say were you in the Navy, you know, Army, Air Force, Coast Guard, whatever, Marines. I would start to kind of get an idea of where I want to go. Do I want Europe? Do I want, you know, Africa, Asia, Southeast Asia? Do I just want to stay at home, you know, because as a military retiree, man, you got so many options. But that's what I would do first, man. And then I would start visiting those places. Don't wait until you retire. Do it now. The Global Vagabond says there have been 71 mass shootings in the USA, and it's only been March. Just saying, yeah, you know, the bottom line is, guys, when it comes to that and being safe, I can tell you unequivocally, as a foreigner over here in the Philippines, I feel safer here than in my own country, okay? Because I'm not going to get the attention over here, really, that I would get over there. See, and then it's just so you would really have to ask a Filipino, is it safe over here for me? Is it really safe? Or what do you even think about that? E-Packet Parkett said, Calvin, remember when black elders said never discuss religion, race, or politics in sports? In sports, because it's all opinionated, it's going to start a bunch of arguments. Yeah, remember rule number one. If you're new to my channel, rule number one is shut the fuck up and mind your own business over here. Okay? This is such big news. I had to tell you. I wasn't going to sit here and hold that in to me. Pressure bursts pipes, guys. I'm not going to do it. So I just, I wanted to send my sincerest condolences out there, man. It's really messed me up, guys. I ain't going to lie. I'm really shaking up behind that. I told Merlin we need to go on vacation for a few days to let me get this out of my head, man, because, no one deserves to die, but hell, he's a sitting governor, man. Fuck. Hey, the Ghost of Pennsylvania says another airport scam. Chinese guy got his smartwatch stolen. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here. Says a string of robberies. It's produced a uniform change. Now they're wearing uniforms with no pockets and no jackets. Yeah, he said the 5 suspects were already arrested. Yeah, I tip my hat. Remember, I was telling y'all about the police over here. They're not Keystone cops, guys. These guys know what they're doing. If my house got broken into tonight, they would know. They know who's doing it. They're gonna go right and catch the people. Okay, last year, 2021, a German national and his Filipino wife, they were robbed and killed. Right, the very same day, the police knew who did it, and they put out the call to go and arrest those people. Even when the foreigner in Bacolod got killed and his house got broken into and they shot him, they arrested those guys. They found out who did it real quick. I don't know why. He says, why was the Filipino man killed? Do you know why? No. I just know he was the governor, guys. You don't get any bigger than that here. Then you go to Congress and the senators, then the president. I mean, but these islands, he is like the president of Negros Oriental. So when you see like Governor Gwendolyn over in Cebu, she's like the president of Cebu. I mean, TJ 347 says 2,500 a month is good, but not necessary unless you plan to travel between Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam or Cambodia fairly regularly. Yeah, that would make for a great lifestyle over here. 2,500 per month. I don't care how many people basically you're taking care of, because remember, 3,800 US dollars per month, you're considered rich in the Philippines. Robert Carson Jr. says, how did you come up with the name Sunshine Shoulders? Is curious. Well, I came up with my channel and my name at the same time. During the pandemic, I'm feeling sorry for myself. And I showed y'all the house. They had these shutter windows. So I opened the shutters. You can only see like an inch between each shutter. And I see this little boy going door to door. He's asking, I guess, for food or money or whatever. And it's like, you got your nerve to be feeling sorry for yourself. At least you got monthly income, you got food, blah, blah, this, blah, blah, that. And so I made a decision right there. I'm going to start helping Filipinos during the pandemic. So next door, if you live in the squatters area, this is in the squatters area, my neighbors are playing Sunshine on My Shoulders, makes me happy, loud. I mean, and I said, well, hell, I named my channel Sunshine Shoulders to bring a little light into places where only darkness used to be, guys. That's what my channel is all about. It doesn't matter if you're Filipino, foreigner, I want to shed some light, man. I want to bring some light in the places where only darkness used to be. But that's where I got. Dana says, tell your subscribers what you know about Iloilo. It's a modern city, man. You know, I talk about Iloilo all the time. I would say it's the most underrated city in the Philippines because no one ever really talks about it. I saw where Shay, the Filipino vlogger, she's there now. And, you know, go look at that video that she's got, you know, and she's doing like a docu vlog on Iloilo, but it's a beautiful place. It's modern, man. It's got everything that you've got in all these other places. It's one of the cleanest places in the Philippines. It's been voted the most progressive city in the Philippines every year since I can remember, meaning, you know, it's growing. He says, real second Exodus, have you been to Guam or America Samoa? Guam, but only flying into that. Mo, what's up, Mo? He says, bro, Cal, I'm home after 30 days in the Philippines, was about to board my flight from Cebu. 5 of us were pulled and told that we couldn't fly due to a fire at JFK. I got 3 more days in Cebu, a real gift. Wow. Yeah, it is. Wow. Yeah, John Gomez, John Denver members. Yeah, he actually died in a plane crash. MF says, if you mean in killing, maybe locals on locals, but foreigners are in no danger. If you are scared, just stay away, man. He said, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, this is how I came up with it. And I've been doing it ever since, you know. The dog is running. Said, Cal, how could I get in contact to buy you coffee and lunch if I came to the Philippines? Will y'all put my Michael Beach Your Life, put my email up there for the dog is running one. Renee Jimenez says that the Philippines have the death penalty. Not anymore. Frank Tate, it's just like in the States if a governor is killed. Absolutely. That's what I said. Thank you for that. It's really, really big, man. It's nothing small, guys. It goes to show you how insignificant we are as visitors over here and as expats. If they can kill a sitting governor in his own home, man, what could they do to you if you over here thinking you're tough? And that's what happens to us a lot of times. We look at the Filipinos and say, oh, look at him. He's weak. Look how small he is, man. These guys, do I have to remind you again that they've got a mean streak, okay? And they'll cut you in half and never have a second thought about it. But as long as you don't do anything that's going to ruffle their feathers, just act like a decent human being, man. Hell, is that hard to do? But if you get over here and get drunk, like the young man did down in Dumaguete, okay, that's Negros Oriental, by the way, young American, 33 years old, working at Silliman College, he ended up dead. Arguing with these people down here, man. Come on, guys. Todd said, Calvin, the toxic people in America deserve to wallow in the mess over here. After all, they've created it. Quality people where you are make the living good. Absolutely, man. You know, and as much as I talk about America and some of the things I didn't like about it, I love America. It's my country, man. You know, I fought for my country. I can say this. We respect authority over there, man. You know, and they, for the most part, respect authority over here, man. But this guy, man, was a pretty important guy. He was a VIP, man. But no, it's not. Philippines is not a bad place. See, this is what I'm saying. We'll take one incident like this and we'll smear the whole Philippines with it. You can't do it. This is what the West will do. They're going to take this. It's on CNN now, I'm sure of it. I was shocked because it's on ABC News. It's on all the news over there. But otherwise, you're not going to see anything about the Philippines over there. But no, you can't do that. Well, I'm not going to address that, Michael. You know, it's none of my business, man. You know, you over there, I'm not going to even talk about that, guys. Our real second Exodus. You can't do that over here. Absolutely, they got CCTV over here, John Gomez, everywhere. And that's the reason why a lot of crimes are solved so quickly over here, including that one. And I'm going to tell you something. Remember I told you about I like the media over here. They treat you like you're an adult, not like a child. They showed everything on the regular news here. When those people came in there, they were dressed like police. They let them in the gate. They come in the gate. The minute they come in there, the guy who opened them up, they shot him in the head. I mean, it shows everything. They don't blare it out. It's everything. Then they just start mowing across the room, man. I mean, it was no joke, man. They wasn't playing, guys, okay? He said, I guess I better wear a dumb watch. Wasn't selling a smart watch? Alexander Neverman, is it because they're scared or they just don't want to put the Philippines in a bad light? Well, I think it's a little bit of both. Remember when I talk about Filipino vloggers and why they don't talk about certain things, because it's their culture. You're not gonna act against your thinking. So if you can't swim, you're certainly not gonna jump in the deep end of the water. I don't give a damn who you are. I don't care, man. You're not gonna do it, and that's what happens over here. But they're able to do it. I think they owe us that. If you really are serious about making the Philippines a tourist place, you can't just tell me the good things, man, because no place is 100% good. No place, guys. Hey, Joseph Relaford said, thanks for all your help on screen and all. Well, I appreciate that, man. And I take pride in that. So I take pride in that. I answer every email. If I miss you, I don't know how. Every WhatsApp, every messenger, I pride myself on that. Now, I can't do every comment. I try to get just as many of them as I possibly can. Trust me, guys, it's not too many people that vloggers over here where you can come to the house. My house is open to you. Yeah, you can stay with me. I'm the real deal, man. I'm not on here, man. I'm not trying, if it was all about views, I know how to get views. I know what to talk about, but I'm not going to sell my soul to that, man. I'm going to talk about real stuff. I'm going to talk about the things that I believe are relevant for older men who are seriously considering moving overseas, and specifically the Philippines. But I know how to get views. Shit. All I got to do is put a little pretty Filipino in front of you guys and y'all go crazy. But I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sell my soul out like that. I'm not going to sell myself off on this passport bro stuff. It's a fad, guys. They're going to act like me, like I haven't been here for all these years on YouTube. So now when black men come to the Philippines, they act like it's something new. Or the black Filipino isn't over here. And all the other channels that have been up and running for years, they're going to pretend like we're not even here. And they show up like, oh, it's a new day. No, it's not a new day, guys. Ramjang Rob said there have been other local mayors and government officials killed in the past. Yeah, but listen, man. This is a sitting governor, Ragjam Rock. And, with all due respect, brother, this isn't, I mean, I'm just saying that nobody deserves to be killed. But this is, it's a sitting governor, man, okay? I don't need to say nothing else. He's like the president of Negros Oriental. Enzo Pastor says, hello, Cal. Enzo from Melbourne, Australia, sending greetings. I'm coming to the Philippines in April to enjoy the Philippines. Come on, man. You're going to enjoy yourself. He said, rule number 2, don't piss off your Filipino wife. Who died, though? Governor, Negros Oriental Governor Roel Digamo. He had been the governor since 2011. Hey, thanks for that super chat, Quintessential One. He said, that's why I love your channel, Cal. I appreciate it, man. I'm not going to sell my soul out. I could do it right now, make all those videos, get all those views, but then what? When it dies down. So I'm going to just keep on Yeah, where are the thumbs up? Give me some support. Okay, let's see. Scamper Steven says, when you arrive, get your flash, get your thongs on and get some local clothes. Don't stand out. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let me read this. He said, when you arrive, get your flash clothes off, I guess. Up away, yeah. Get your thongs on and some local clothes. Don't stand out and show off dancing around like a big roo in the top paddock, mate. Yeah, he's exactly right. This is what I'm saying about keeping a low profile. Because some guys say, oh, you're a vlogger. How can you keep a low profile? Trust me, man. If I go to General Santos right now, nobody knows who I am. Okay. Even when I'm in Dumageddon, man, I keep a low profile. I'm not arguing with people. I'm not thinking I'm better than anybody. Hey, Alfonso Hernandez says, hey, Sunshine, how dependable is electricity and internet in St. Carlos City? Very good. We have a brownout about every 3 or 4 months. And then they tell you when it's coming so you can prepare. When I was in Zamboanga, they did not tell you. You just end up in the dark, especially at night. Every now and then a brownout will come at night here, but it's usually like 12 midnight to 6 in the morning, but it'll wake you up out of your sleep. That's a fact. Hey, Alex Jacobs said, can you set up a website for consulting calls? I usually, when people want to get in touch with me, they just get in touch with me on my WhatsApp. And, I just consider it a conversation, not really consulting. But just hit me on my email and I'll give you my WhatsApp or my Facebook Messenger. Gangsta Gummy Bear says, Philippines always seen a bad light, especially from the haters that support their own favorite travel locations. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about the other day. The Philippines never makes any of these lists. Imagine they had a list of the cheapest, most affordable places to stay overseas, and they had like 4 places from Europe, but the Philippines wasn't on the list. And the only time they're going to show anything about the Philippines is going to be negative. So that's why people don't want to come over here. Because people say, do you think that the Philippines will ever be overrun with foreigners? It's not going to happen, guys. Because they're going to scare you away from this place. When people like me are trying to tell you to come on over here, it's really a great option for a lot of us. And just because it's not for you doesn't make it a bad place. But you never know till you get here. He said a dumb watch. Yeah. Sam Champion says, at Tariq Pierce, bro, I'm married to a Filipino from South Luzon. As a black man, I feel quite comfortable in our area where the neighbors treat me like royalty. We are currently in Kentucky until I retire. Now, I'm going to tell you something right now. As a black man in Kentucky, you're going to stand out. I'm from Kentucky. Kentucky's only 8% black. It's one of the whitest states in the union. I mean, I'm not talking, I'm just telling you facts, okay? So you're going to stick out more there than you will here. Yeah, he says, wow, that's graphic, Sunshine Show. Yeah, it really is. And they're showing it on the real news. They're not hiding it. And these people and their families, they got to watch this stuff, man. But it's real life stuff, guys. And that's why I like it over here. They don't treat me like a baby. In America, they would have never showed you that. They're just going to come on there and say, hey, the governor was assassinated along with 5 of his constituents and leave it at that. Justin PP says, I lived in Philippines for almost 2 years. I had no worries doing my usual thing. Safe place. No need to do anything beyond man my own and be a decent person. That's really all you have to do. And the only reason I'm talking about this today is because it's worldwide news. I mean, you would probably say, well, why didn't he talk about that? There's no way he's over in the Philippines, right up the road, by the way, from where all this happened and not even just say it. I say it out of honor and respect for the families, man. You know, a lot of innocent people died, man. You know, yeah, it is sanitized and it's biased and it's opinionated. Okay, contact info. Hey, Michael Beach of Life, are you still on here? You and Jacob Tanjay? Because let me see. Hold on. Let me see. I think I can do it. Okay, yeah. It's just so crazy doing it here. But let me. There it is. Okay. All right. Okay. Wait. Uh, trying to um, do this for this guy. Put my email up. You know, I thought Michael Beach of Life's on here. He must have left. Okay, there. Okay. All right. There it is. Thank you, Jacob Tanjay. I appreciate it. Hey, Nathaniel Atkins, thanks for that super sticker. Dana says, don't wear clothing or caps with logos of American universities and sports teams or flags. They just make you a target. Here it is. Anybody wants my contact information. And then just send me with that, and I'll give you my WhatsApp if you want that. Thank you, Jacob Tanjay. I appreciate it. Gamer Box Slayer says, I'm moving to Thailand. Which is better, Thai or the Philippines? I'm just gonna say both, man. You know, it just depends on what you like. If you want the modern life, I would say Thailand. If you like the laid back life, peaceful life, I'd say the Philippines. But I tell you what, you're gonna be more welcome here than in Thailand. I can say that. You're not gonna run over top of tourists everywhere here. But I love both of them. They're only like 2.5 hours away. The good thing about being in Southeast Asia, you can go to all of these places, guys. If you're here for 30 days, you can hit Indonesia, you can hit Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, Philippines. You can hit them all. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah. He said Kennedy and Lincoln got hit in the U.S. It can happen anywhere. We were talking about Kennedy's assassination yesterday while we were walking. And I said, what must he have done for a sitting president in the 20th century to get assassinated? He really must have done something, man. Hey, Harold Till said the people that want to escape the matrix, the most are the ones that can't get a passport for many reasons. Yeah, I call them the no passport bros. That's what I call them. And they're the ones who give you the most pushback. But what is kind of funny to me is all of a sudden these passport bros are showing up in the Philippines and people are acting like it's something new. It's like, I haven't been over here. The Black Filipino hasn't been over here. We've been over here for years, on YouTube for years. And now they act like, oh, this is something new. And I'm like, come on, guys, y'all know better than that. It's not new. Black Diamond says, Calvin, you haven't been home in a while. They do show graphic news. They're not going to show that. You know what they do? They'll stop it just in time and they'll blur it. Because I still get national news, Black Diamond. If you got to see the video here to see what I'm talking about. Okay, they'll never show that on American news. I'm not even gonna argue with you. You in some kind of delusion over there. Okay, they're not gonna show that, and you know it. what they're going to do, they're going to stop it. Just like, remember the guy who went in that restaurant? Where was that? Was that Texas with the fake gun, or Missouri or somewhere? And when he's going out, the guy gets up from behind him, and that's where they stop it. They know that they shot him 8 times in the back, 1 time in the head, but they don't show it. They show when this man got shot in his face, check up in here or here with that damn assault rifle. They showed it. And then they showed him sweeping across, killing these people, man. Don't tell me. I know what I'm talking about. You're not even over here. That foolishness. No good and well they ain't showing that on TV. Frank Tate says, I feel safer here in Metro Manila than I ever felt in Chicago. And I got to second that. I got to second that, man. Alex Jacobs says, the living in a high-rise condo protect people from typhoons. Well, I'm going to be honest. I was in they're designed to sway and to withstand the typhoons over here. I was in the middle of Typhoon Odette. I was on the 46th floor, Alex. And other than it being a terrifying experience, I'm alive today. So, yeah, they've got some good now. Now, earthquakes, I don't know. But that typhoon, it withstood that. AC King, I think that showing the real graphic violence on TV news makes it more real for people and causing them to be outraged and work harder to stop it. Sugarcoating only keeps people asleep. Yeah, and I think I'm right along there with you. I think it'll do a whole lot more to deter crime and stuff like that, because they leave it to your imagination. They know that man pulled out that gun and shot that man 8 times, but they stopped it right there. And then, first of all, they'll warn you, it's got graphic violence and blah, but then they don't show violence. Oh, that's crazy, right? Nathaniel Atkins says, I fell in love with the Philippines at age 22 during my Navy days. Finally, at age 59, it's now becoming a reality. Retirement there, yeah. Now, you, the Nathaniel Atkins, you're not the one in Bohol, are you? Rodney Dashner says, this is not in order. I love the videos about a man, his health, and you and John videos and your woman videos. Guys, are you listening? The baddest videos, the girlfriend experience. Yeah, see, when I describe the girlfriend experience, it's going to be different than what anybody else describes it. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you the nitty gritty. I'm going to tell you, what it's really like. And see, I could sell those type of videos on you all day long, but I have to tell you that she's going to lock your ass up like a bear claw after all that's over with. You're not going to be able to breathe. You're not going to be able to move. You're going to be, in a prison. You're going to be a prisoner in your own home. Hey, Mr. Bullet, thanks for that super sticker. But they don't want to tell you that. They just want to show you this beautiful Filipina, young, beautiful, in the prime of her life. But they don't really tell you what it's like really dealing with a woman over here like that. They're not from outer space. They're just like any other woman around the world. The problems just come in a different package. That's really all it is. Okay. It's some cultural differences that are going to stop you in your tracks. Okay. But they're not going to tell you that. They just want to keep showing you this beautiful woman, which is one side of it. Okay. And so then they're not going to tell you about the agreement that you've entered into, really, that she's slowly drawing you in. And once you get here and then y'all start living together like husband and wife, man, it's going to be hard for you to get away from that. Hey, Michael Dawsonville says, hey, Brother Calvin, I like the video that you did on Wednesday with you and your girl and your son. That was very nice. Yeah, I did on Wednesday with my girl and my son. That wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about, Michael. Is this the real Michael Dorsonville? He says, hey, brother Cal, I like the video that you did on Wednesday with you and your girl and your son. That was very nice. That I didn't do that. I didn't do a video on Wednesday like that. I don't know what you're talking about. What video is that? Well, yeah, they just showed him with his knee on the ground. I mean, his knee on his neck. They didn't show George Floyd fighting and, up close. I'm saying, guys, listen, I'm not going to argue with y'all. There's no way that America's showing you all that graphic stuff because they're afraid it may cause a revolt. I love LaChawn said, I saw that video, Calvin. Well, tell them, man, because they won't listen to me. You tell them, I love LaChawn, what that video entails to shut these guys up, man. You're talking crazy. I haven't been gone that long from America. Okay, I still get American news, by the way. They're not showing that stuff, guys. They showed this man get shot in his face and fall down to the ground and them sweeping, shooting everybody and killing them, guys, okay? Thank you, Mr. Bullet. He said, I appreciate your balanced advice. You're trying to tell me I'm living here. I'm telling you what it is, what they're showing. Yeah, they blur it. Or they just stop it. They just stop it. They're not going to show you that. That young dude, I don't know, where was that? What did that happen? Yeah, okay, yeah, that was Houston. Okay, Jacob. Yeah, wherever it was, man, they showed it. Then they stopped it. As soon as the man, they show him going for his waist and pull his gun out and stop. Now, if you was over here, they'd have showed his ass getting shot 8 times in his back, and then the guy stands over top of him and shoots him once in the head. They would have showed that over here. And it would deter guys from doing that stupid stuff, man. I mean, really, guys, come on. MF Doom, that's a super villain, said, can't wait till the passport bro trend is over. I hate to say it, it's a trend, guys. It's a fad. But black men traveling around the world is not a fad. It's been going on for a long, long time. Yeah, spaces and places. I know. I mean, I don't know where these guys are. They just want their time in the sun, I guess. He said, yep, I've been traveling abroad since the 90s. Brother's been traveling for years. I must be a passport hunk then. One guy said he's a passport Joe, and which, made a lot of sense to me. But yeah, they're going to pretend like I'm not here. And I think that's disrespectful to me, really. And black Filipino, but I think he's connected with them. But they come over here like sunshine shows don't even exist. That all this, brothers in the Philippines and all that, long before me, but they act like nobody, like this is the new thing. It just started. And they're giving information about the Philippines. And I'm like, come on, guys. You got to, respect your elders. That's what they say. Timothy Carter said the young black guy was beaten by 5 black cops. They showed beating and kicking when he's down, but no shooting by cops. He says, you won't drown. Yeah, he said, there's no filters here, guys. What's this? Raj and Bing de la Trava says the women complain about passport bros are jealous, plain and simple. Yeah, guys, but it's manufactured, guys, okay? There's nobody, and we've had this discussion before. There's nobody, Big Shirley, Big Susie, Big Martha, they're not at the airport trying to block the door, not letting you get in and get on your plane and leave the country. Remember, every man over there is not trying to leave. We're a small percentage of people leaving. That it really shouldn't even be an issue. It's only an issue because we make it an issue. If you think that black women have a problem with Filipino women, okay, then you dreaming, man. That's a lot of the black women I know, they've never been to the Philippines before. They're not coming here. And they don't care who you deal with. All that stuff is manufactured for views and stuff like that. I'm not going to fall for it. I can go out and find 2 black women and put them on screen and say, look, guys, coach them before. I want y'all to talk about, you know, Filipinas and how they stealing y'all men and all that. Guys, it's not real. And if it is, who gives a damn? I'm 8,000 miles away from them over here. I don't care. I'm already living the reality, you know, but it's like, it's not a thing for real unless you're going to make it a thing. And now you got the Filipinas striking back at black women. Look, Filipinas, if you're watching this video right now, y'all don't want nothing to do with black women, okay? They will squash you like a bug. You don't want that drama. Stop letting these passport bros, Joes, and all this get your ass kicked, okay? Don't let that happen. There's no reason for that. They don't care about you dealing with these men over here. Hey, Talk Time with Eddie J says, you're so right, Cal. We've been on these international streets for a long time. We're just not starting. Yeah, but that's the way they want it to look, man. I think it's disrespectful. You know, I just think it is. You know, there's no way if I'm a black vlogger and I come to the Philippines and I don't try to reach out to these other established vloggers. Look, when I went to Thailand and Chocolate Man in Thailand knew I was there, man, this guy reached out to me. Not only did he reach out to me, man, he came, met me, took me to a nice place, sat down, you know, then said, hey, let's do a collaboration on let's do a live stream collaboration and this and that, right? I think that's only fair. Pumpkin Joe Philippine Experience, what's up, brother? He says, to me, the whole passport bro thing is another example of how much we Westerners are conditioned to feed off a division. Yeah, and like I said, if it's not a division there, Pumpkin Joe, you're right. We'll make one there. They've got Filipinas and black women fighting. Look, y'all don't want that drama, okay? I'm just telling you. Don't say that Sunshine Shows didn't warn you. You're not really striking back. You're striking back because you're over here 8,000 miles away. You go over there talking that stuff, and they're going to kick your ass, okay? Period. End of story. He said, good point, Cal. Clickbait. That's really all it is, guys. Come on. Y'all know they don't care, guys, that we're coming over here. Hey, Alpino, thanks for the super chat. He said, still rolling, paying a little dues. When the next time you coming over here? I've got a buddy over here now, Tito Cha, but he hasn't been on my live stream because he's over here now. So I know he's not, you know, he's living the reality now. But I'd like to, he's up in Metro Manila somewhere. He said, Cal, tell the passport bros they got to check in with you first. Else you getting the peanut goons on them. No, that's not really what I mean, guys. You know, I'm not that egotistical. I'm just saying, don't come over here and act like it's new. It's not new, guys, okay? It's not. You know. But Pumpkin Joe is right, man. You know, it's all about division. And if it's not there, we're going to make it, man, because I'm going to tell you, my daughters don't give a damn about what Filipino women are doing over here. And the Filipinos really don't care about what American women are doing over there. I don't know where this fight came from. It just came out of nowhere. Because you got men saying, oh, yeah, well, they're jealous. It don't take much to get Filipinos going, okay? If you come over here and say, yeah, you know, but black women said that y'all poor and y'all this and that, even though it's lies, okay, it doesn't take much to get them going. So then they're going to get mad and they're going to start, well, you don't know anything about me and you're just jealous, and you'll take off those fake nails and that fake hair. And next thing you know, it's a conflict, okay? But it's not true, guys. Hey, Rodney Woods, thanks for that super chat. He says, salute to you, bro. Keep doing your thing from KC to Texas. It's about respect. I feel you. It is, man. You know, that's really what it's about. He said, Alexander Neverman said, Cal, you're right. They better watch Medea. Yeah, they really don't want that drama, but they got these guys These passport bros, they psyching these women up over here. They don't want that drama, man, and y'all know they don't. Okay? Yeah, he said generational difference, brother Cal. I had a passport. Right, Mark. Now, is this Mark McIntosh? Are you the one that came and see me, Mark? Mark Mac? Because you're, I hope it is, because you're the pilot, and I wanted to get your take on all of those plane crashes that went on in those 33 days and kind of, see what your take is on it. No, Black Diamond, man. See, this is what, he's supposed to be a Black Diamond. And he says, they show killings every day. So they show the actual bullet and blood and all that in America, or they just show you the sound and they make you, then they turn it over to your own imagination, okay? Hey, Steve Wingo Sr., there it is right here, guys. A good story right here. Y'all remember him. He said, hey, Big Cal, as usual, keeping it real. The U.S. military and civilians have settled in many countries for over a century. Yeah, longer than that. They've been here in the Philippines since 1899. Peace and blessings to you and your beautiful wife, Marjorie. While sleeping by cops. Well, I wish I could send you that. I wish I could show you that on my channel. That way it would shut all you guys up who seem to think that the news over there is as raw as it is over here. It's not. A British expat in the Philippines said, Calvin, isn't it true that SRV visa offers veterans a $1,500 stay as a privilege? Yeah, but you have to understand, you have to also have a pension with that of at least $1,000 US. You can't just be honorably discharged veteran, okay? And that, you got to have the pension, okay? This is what you're leaving out, and a lot of people leave that out. You got to have that pension, guys. Social Security, not disability. They don't accept that over here. So, yeah, that's partly true. Gangsta Gummy Bear says, I love Asians because they are admittedly more approachable than your women here in the States, but I have never openly bashed our Black or U.S. women online. That isn't helping anything. That's right, because I don't believe it's true. It's manufactured. Because neither women know anything about the other. And the Filipinos in America, they're not worried about that anymore. They're already over there. They know better. They got their own lives over there. And the women over here, most of them will never ever go to America. So it's really like it's a non-argument, but it generates views. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube, you'll see. Hundreds, thousands of views, man. I'm like, these people are geniuses, man. To come up with this kind of stuff. But I'm not going to sell my soul for views. I'm not going to do it. I want to talk about things that's really going to help you when you come over here. Hey, BLHPC DI Systems, Brian Hall says, hey, Calvin, I love your videos. I normally go to Mandawi City, Cebu, every year from 2016. Maybe you should do one with P in Glasgow, Scotland. Oh, okay, with P. I'm in Glasgow, Scotland, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you, man. I don't know. It's like, it's funny that I'm no different than any of the other vloggers, guys, but they avoid me like the plague. They don't ask me to do it. Imagine Mark down there. Every man has his own story. He never wanted to interview me. Why is that? Paul, when I was down there, he wants to treat me like he's Johnny Carson and I'm, get in touch with my people and then you get in touch with your people and we're going to get you on the show. Like, come on, man. It's not that serious, dude. We could sit down right now and do 5 minutes if you really want to. None of them, they Black Filipino TV, they all stay clear of Sunshine shows, and I don't understand why. They got to ask me that. But yeah, it says neighborhood. I guess Nipsey Hussle says how it started is people believe their favorite blogger. I believe it. There's a lot of truth to that. Yeah, he says Black turned 34. Says it's hardly even a fight. Most of the content is recycling the same 10 or so videos and doing commentary over it for views. Thank you, sir. This is what needs to be said right here. Okay? This is the argument right here in a nutshell because he's telling the truth. This is what I saw. Okay? But if y'all want to believe that stuff, then go ahead. It's just not true, guys. It's all made up, just like he said. Endeavor and one. Exactly. It's all made up. Imagine being upset at someone 1,000 miles away and you've never met. Yeah. But they're geniuses. Whoever came up with this kind of stuff. Oh, okay, Mark, you are the guy. Yeah, this guy's a pallet, man. He says, I like my fake nails. I'm not taking them off for nothing. He said, the dog is running. It says, a young white guy and also veteran. I'd like to buy you a coffee and hear what you have to say, Cal. I hear you got a lot of pain in your heart from the past and I hate it. Yeah, but I've worked my way through that, believe it or not, guys. I really don't. People say that to me. It's just the way that I am. I've been like this my whole life. I'm just a serious looking guy. People say, hey, smile more, do this. I've been this way my whole life. And it comes out the wrong way to people. And maybe that's why they don't want to reach out or whatever. But man, I'm just as happy as anybody. I promise you, I'm not going to sell you a dream, and I have nothing to gain by telling you this, man. I'm as happy as I've ever been. Okay. I can't get any happier. I mean, really. Gangsta Gummy Bear says, Real Second says they would have never said anything about Filipinos if the passport bros hasn't gone on a tirade about how terrible women in the U.S. are for the world to see. I just don't understand, but see, that's going to keep on, that's that victim mentality. We want to be the victim. The man's being picked on. There's still men over there who are living life on their own terms in America. Everybody's not leaving. It's a small percentage, so small that we're only talking about it because genius marketing. It's a very small percentage, man. Black men probably travel international less than anybody else. Who travels less internationally than black men? I'd be hard pressed to come up with an answer for that. Very few people travel, less than we do, but all of a sudden now, you got everybody thinking that every black man's leaving the United States. It's not true, guys. Real Second Exodus says the SRRV visa. What's that? Well, the Philippines offers a special resident retirement visa. It's like 4 different kinds. If you're in the military, if you honorably discharge and you meet all the other requirements, including the pension, which all of them, except for the classic, requires a pension. If you don't have a pension, then it's $20,000 US, but it's a deposit. Real Second Exodus. It's not you don't pay for it like you do in Thailand and some other places. And you become a permanent resident. You can work here. You can own a business here. You can go to school here. You got multiple entries and exits in and out of the country. It's a retirement visa. I think it's one of the best that's even offered. Okay, remember I tell you about the genius that exists in the world? Well, the Philippines is no exception. And this is one example, that SRV. That's right. This is exactly right. He said, sisters aren't worried about my old black ass. Yeah, you're right. He said, I'm in my 50s, under 6 foot, and damn sure don't make 6 figures. Yeah, I don't understand where they get all this stuff from. If you go to the airport right now, there's not going to be anybody there trying to block you from going. People don't care, and even if they did, why would you care? You know, that's all I'm saying. Why would you care? I don't get it. From some stranger says, when the facts are the only people are really going to give you any pushback is your circle, your friends, your family, your associates, your co-workers, guys. It's not going to be some strange woman. Who gives a damn what some lady in Baltimore, Maryland says about me? And they always get these women that I'm not going to date anyway. Ken and Lynn, Canuck, Summers, Panay, Winters, don't confront Filipino men in any strong way here. Doesn't matter the issue. All the Filipinos would defend the Filipino. That's right. And, you know, I've said this so many times on my videos. If you fight one Filipino, you got to fight them all. Remember, I said, if you get in a fight over here, you're more likely you're going to get jumped. But when you talk bad about the Philippines, all Filipinos take offense to it, even if you're telling the truth. We have to know our boundaries over here, guys. You know, it's no different wherever you go around the world. Yeah, he said, Mark Max said, yeah, the Philippines shows the raw. It shocked me. I changed the channel. It does. And when you see this video, guys, all you got to do is go on YouTube. It's on there. But it's from GMA. That's the national news. One of the national news over here. They showed that. And, you know, it's shocking, man. I mean, it's really graphic. Rick Scorpio says American news generally does not show graphic details involving death. They will blur the body out. They will. Hey, American Citizen said, just checking in, Cal. There's going to be a lot more black women over there with the 3 new bases. So Filipino women got to be smart now. Yeah, they don't want that drama, guys. You know, they don't want that drama. And I'm sorry. I mean, you know, as much as I love Filipino women and all that, and I'm going to side with them on most things, you don't want trouble. You don't want drama with them sisters, okay? You can't out-drama the drama queens. AC King said these women are watching too much reality TV, which is based on contrived emotional conflicts and drama between people. They think that's real life. And, you know, you can't beat the internet anyway. Give me a drink. You can't beat the internet anyway. If I spent all of my time fighting and arguing and, you know, with the people who want to fight and argue with me, I wouldn't have time for content. You know, you can't beat it. So, you know, a lot of it is genius. So we should all get along, which for the most part we do. But the drama sells, and that's what's selling right now. This old crazy drama. Rodney Dasher says, suckers, leave my brother alone. I love the meet and greets. It's like the family reunion I never had any. All races, I love it. Yeah, and that's what we do here. We don't seem to be fighting as much over here as we do over there. He said, Filipino peace soaking in all the views. Well, you know, they're from the young generation. You got to realize I'll be 60 if it's God's will the creek don't rise. So I can see where a lot of the young guys, they don't really, you know, follow me or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. But I just don't get into that stuff. Okay. It's just not something that interests me. I talk about it because it shouldn't interest you old ass guys either. It's not going to do you any good. What's a 65-year-old doing sitting around watching videos like that when you know it's not true? That's right. That's right. Alexander Neville, man. I don't know where these but Black Diamond, he keeps pushing back. But these guys live in America, Black Diamond. Where do you live? Because Alexander Neville, man, said it would be a total outrage if they show people getting killed on American television. Now, Black Diamond says, I can't tell you what they're doing there, but I certainly can tell you what we are seeing here on our news. I seen a whole body cam, 2 officers pulling a white guy over, and he delete both cops. Yeah, you can get that. If you qualify, you got to be 50 years old, guys. Okay, that's another thing you have to be. Now, they did have a SRV at one time. I'm trying to think of the name of it because I had the gentleman on here one time. He was telling us it was 35 to 50. He said they're thinking about bringing that one back, but from now you have to be at least 50 years old. You have to have a pension, in some cases 800, depending on what pension, but in others it's 1,000. He said dudes are like females now. Yeah, it's gotten to that point, where we're really. See, you remember these guys are like the same age as my children, so I gotta kind of look at it from that view. I'm not mad at them, Like I said, whoever came up with that is it's genius. That's simply as it is. Hey, Hal Funk Base, you're watching, man. Brother, I will be emailing you before I leave California to Manila. That's what he said, honey. I'm reading this. Awesome discussion. Yeah, with emphasis. I always do that. Pee Wee Barnes says, hey, Cal, any updates on Deshaun Dixon? I'm confused by reports on cause of death. His neck had a cut, right? Yeah. Well, another thing I like about the media over here, they're not going to keep that violence in the news cycle and beat you to death with it. Okay? Usually they'll run a story and that's it. There's no new stories going to come out. Maybe he did fall and, backwards and hit his head on something and cut it. I was just saying that article that they put out there like that, it never, there's no autopsy, there was no anything. It was basically an open and shut case to them. The chief said, this is what happened, and that was it, and they closed it. Oh, Real Second Extra said, they respect you, Sunshine Shoulders. You're not going to the red light districts like they do. Oh, okay. Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't do a whole lot of the stuff that these young guys do. And remember, it's a whole generational difference, like Mark Mack said. Gangsta Gummy Bear says there are a lot of people making a lot of money off these fake men versus women war online, though. Probably the only reason why people keep reigniting the men versus women flame bait. Yeah. And this is true, man. You gotta be, man, listen. If you look at my videos, you'll see the views I get. And sometimes if I make one like, about Deshaun Dixon, I may get 40,000. But most of the time, my videos get anywhere from, according to YouTube, anywhere from like 5,000 to like 9,000 views. And I'm happy with that, okay? Now, I earn about $30,000 a year with those numbers. Remember, 70% of my viewers are in America. That has a lot to do with it. It's more than just views, okay? So all you have to do is look at some of these big vloggers and see that they probably got a lot of the same demographic as me, and they're getting 5 and 10 times the amount of views, okay? So that'll show you how much money is being earned off of these videos. It's making people rich, guys, over here. And I'm not hating on them. I'm telling you that it's not easy to do that, though. It's not easy to get to the level that they are. But if you do, you can earn some serious money on YouTube, and YouTube's the one that's really paying people. Facebook should do that to everybody, not just the super content makers. Same with TikTok. You know, YouTube does give you some possible, dynamics that you can reach, parameters rather, that will allow you to earn some money. A lot of these other, you know, social media sites, they don't really want to share, the wealth. So I got to take my hat off to YouTube. But yeah, you're right. It's a lot of money being earned on YouTube with that stuff, man. Look at guys like Andrew Tate. Okay, as much as I respected Kevin Samuels, he was no Andrew Tate, man. This guy was he's about the biggest guy that's ever even tried to do this kind of stuff. When you got millions and millions of followers, millions and millions of dollars he's bringing in just from talking about this man of spirit stuff, man. Don't tell me what can't be earned on here. But a lot of people, they don't know how to articulate what's going on up here. They're afraid. They don't want the drama that goes along with the territory, man. I'm sorry, but the drama that goes along with it. Renee Jimenez says, women say whatever they want about men, but the second a man says something, he's attacked. It's definitely a double standard. He said, Calvin, a British expat in the Philippines, and he's got a pretty good video here this last. He said, a lot of Americans, I don't know why you picking on Americans, but it seems like we're the only ones going home broke. What is with that? Is there any Canadians, British, Australians going home broke? I'd like to hear about that, but he's got a pretty good video. He's talking about that. He says, a lot of American expats are going home broke. I'd like to see the numbers on that because, Americans, you're going to get the hits if you say all Americans going home broke. Okay. But I like to think that there's other people going broke too, man. A real second exit says the passport thing is getting old fast. They would need something new to keep it going. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. It's going to fade out, guys. Okay. Yeah, she's certainly getting paid, but I don't hate on people, man. Doing what we do, guys, it looks easy. We make it look easy. But you need a lot of help just to get to the point where you can even get monetized. And then once you get monetized, now the pressure's really on you. People are watching you. They're expecting content every day. And if you can't produce that contract, you're going to flame out, and so I don't blame, I'm not putting down these bloggers when they talk about women all the time, dating, interviewing Filipinos all the time, because that's going to keep them relevant. That's going to keep the views coming in, which is going to keep the money coming in, or at least get them monetized. I'm just saying that I don't do it anymore. Okay. I'm not going to sell my soul anymore for views. I don't think I have to anymore. I think I've established myself enough that I can start talking about other things and people are still going to watch, but it just is what it is, guys. Y'all love the fantasy, but I'm warning you, watching too much of this fantasized YouTube Philippine vlogs is going to ruin your trip when you finally get over here. Because when you get over here, it's no longer fantasy, it's reality. And you're going to say, oh man, they left a whole lot of stuff out. Alpina R says, yeah, that's weak how they're trying to avoid you, but be biting the F out of Sunshine Shoulders content. Yeah. He said, Nest man, bring back bullying. Black Turn 34 says, oh, it ain't ending anytime soon. We still got spring break, then summer coming. Yeah, but it's a fad, guys. Okay, but black men traveling is not a fad. It's already getting so much pushback. There's a white guy, he's already got, and I seen this coming, because now it's the women against women. Pretty soon it's going to be the men against the men. Then it's going to be the black men against the white men, and then the black man against the Asian men. And then that's it. They're going to take it as far as they can go with it But it's a white guy, feels something. He's already going at, I didn't even click on it. But the title is, now that black men are traveling, all hell's broke loose. See, they won't click, guys, okay? Elfrin Dunlap, now he came to my my second meet and greet. Him and his Filipino girlfriend or wife. He said, "What's up, Cal? They avoid you because you bring the nitty gritty and the truth. The truth is not a popular subject. It's not. People don't want to hear about facts. It's, we live in a fantasy. We want to hear about the fantasy, but I can tell you this. I can make the reality better than the fantasy because it is, especially because you've never been here before. I'm living reality. I can tell you what it's really like over here, but y'all want that fantasy stuff. That's never going to happen. You got people talking to you, making you think that they're available, they're not, okay? But I can tell you the real truth. We were walking today, and two beautiful young women, I'd say they were anywhere from, I'm going to say 20 to say 25, because it's hard to really tell. They said hello to me and Patrick, right? They said it. My Buntag, right? Smiling, one of them John smiles that says, hey, we're interested, right? And Patrick looks at me and says, do you know those women? I said, no, I don't. I said, but that's what is possible over here. That's just real life, Patrick, over here, because that's what we were talking about. But y'all don't want the real stuff. Y'all want that fake stuff. So, okay, keep doing it. But the reality is a whole lot better. Than the fantasy. See, we're not going to bash anybody over here because, the Black Filipino television, he's been around here a long time. He's established. He helps a lot of people. He's got a great channel. What these guys do, it's not easy. I'm never going to knock them. I'm just saying, I just find it strange that you're in this area. I'm here because when I first started out, he reached out to me. He said, hey, whenever I come to Cebu, I want to, I'd like to hook up with you, do a collab or something like that. I'm like, yeah, I was flattered because, he's way up there, man. He's way up there farther than me. Yeah, that's right. But see, the problem I got with you, Black Diamond, from the beginning is this. You're on the borderline of being a hater and a troll because I'm not putting any other people down. See, you're getting to the point. I don't like this negative, anything I say you push back on. He says enough room for everybody. You don't have to put down another brother YouTuber. Now, who am I putting down? Everyone has a lane and everyone has an option. If you're not willing to take advice, that's your choice. We're not putting anybody down. We're just saying that we think that this manufactured drama is a fad. It's going to pass, once they run its course. Because now you got a white guy on here. He's starting trouble. He's going to kick up the dust. This video's got like 30-something thousand views the last I saw. That's all it takes is for a white man to say, black brothers traveling and all hell done broke loose. But now it's going to be, that dynamic of black against white. Okay? And then it's going to get stupid, guys. I don't want to be a part of it. Because it's not going to do anything to help your trip. Nathaniel Atkins says, once I start my YouTube channel, I'd love to do an interview with you, Cal. I'll be interviewed by you. I've learned so much from your channel. Absolutely, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I help a lot of channels, man. I've helped a lot of channels because people help me. Black American Expat Radio, I always bring his name up, even though, we don't collab anymore. He helped me. Believe it or not, Andy Omar helped me in the beginning. Andy Omar, he made a decision to go the troll route. If Andy Omar would have been a regular vlogger, man, he'd be way up there. He'd have over 100,000 subscribers, but he chose to go that route. But, you know, every now and then he would do like a real vlog, and he put me out there. He says, hey guys, you know, go and check this guy out. He's new. I only had like maybe 500 subscribers when he did it. When he turned on me, I was kind of shocked. I'm like, well, damn, but you know, I guess it's just, I just became more content for him. But, you know, come on, man. I don't, dude. Okay, I'm over that. No, honestly, guys, don't let. He said, Dante Cruz said, Calvin, could you beat up a Filipino soldier that looks small? Well, see, you have to understand, guys. You have to be a certain size to get into the military. These guys aren't small when you get over here. Okay, they will kick your ass. Don't think that. Okay, this is one thing you got to get out of your head, Nante Kroon. These Filipino men will kick your ass. I can take you over there to Viper Gym right now, and it's about 4 or 5 of them will kick your behind. Look, we can't beat everybody in the world. You know, I don't know if you're American or whatever. We think that's what me and Patrick was talking about today. We think we can beat up everybody. We think we're superior to everybody. We're not. You will get your head handed to you by some of these soldiers and police over here. Don't say I didn't warn you, okay? Coming over with that foolishness. Hey, Keith Richards says, have you been to CDO yet? Any good restaurants? Now, it's been a while since I've been to any restaurants over there. Now, the only restaurant I remember going to in CDO was the Pancake House, which is one of my favorite restaurants in all the Philippines anyway. But yeah. He says, other than Manila, what other cities would you recommend in the Philippines for a mellow retiree with good income? Appreciate your content. Thank you, Byron, for that super chat. Well, okay, Angeles City, and up by Subic Bay, Cebu City, Dumaguete, Bacolod City, General Santos City, Iloilo City. Okay, this is where I call that expat alley. And what I would do if I'm new to the Philippines, I'm going to stay in one of those cities first. I'm going to get my feet wet. I'm going to learn the ropes, and then I may venture out to a place like San Carlos City and the other little city, second-class cities is what they call them in the Philippines. Dumaguete is actually a third-class city. But Dumaguete had the benefit of that Forbes magazine article. But San Carlos City's actually rated higher than Dumaguete. And when you come here, you'll see why. It's not as congested. And, it's one of the cleanest places. It's got a lot of open spaces here. But I don't think it's a good place for a new person to come, even if you're an older person. Because when it's time to go to immigration, you're going to have at least a 2.5 hour ride to Bacolod or 4.5 hour ride to Dumaguete or another 3.5 hours to Cebu, see? So if you're already in one of these cities, Dumaguete, Cebu, Bacolod, you don't have to go anywhere to get the immigration, your extension, okay? Yeah, they're not that small, guys. Y'all looking at too much television. Over here, you got to be a certain height to be a police and military. These guys are the same size as you and bigger. And they work out, man. They'll kick your ass over here, man. I'm just telling you. Dave Dakin says, I'm just a 61-year-old looking for a cheap place to retire. Cost of living is getting stupid in Canada. And this is just one option. Actually, believe it or not, your money will go further in Thailand, meaning the value of your money. But that's only on, when everything's equal. Somebody like me, man, I could live on the cheap here, and I'm not talking about where it's going to be inferior. I'm talking about quality because I've been here long enough. I know the ropes. I can stay right on the beach in Siquio Island for $19 a night if that's what I want to do. I can rent an apartment over here fully furnished for 10,000 pesos per month. See, but if you're just coming over here, you're not going to know that yet. But that's why the community is so important. If we talk amongst each other, that's why these meet and greets are so important. It's not to meet me, guys. It never was. It's to network and say, hey, where do you live? You know, and do they have any apartments over there? Where can I buy me a nice motorcycle? It's not to meet me, man. Oh, man. Yeah, I'm a lover too, not a fighter. Yeah, he said, Willie Thompson said Pancake House in Bacolod is fire. I love the Pancake House. Now, he's talking about Bacolod. I'm going to tell you another place, Willie. I don't know if you've ever eaten there, but Gunny's American Burger. They really got good food. If you in the Philippines and you're craving Western food, if you live in these major cities, these bigger cities, there's always going to be a place. Bacolod has Gunny's American Burgers, man. It's delicious. It's like eating at home. He said, do you know what a chiseler is? I don't. He asked me that 3 times. What's a chiseler? I saw one of the funniest videos the other day. He had this, he was in a liquor store buying something, and he had the guy read, he said, I want you to spell this out, and I want you to read this. So it says, it had IHOP at the top, and then NIS, NIS at the bottom. He said, but I want you to spell this out and say this. So he said, IHOP NIS, IHOP NIS. And he kept on saying it. It was the more he said, the funnier it got. And he said, well, what are you saying? He said, you just said you ate my penis. It's funny, man. If you see this come across your Facebook news feed, man, look at it. It's funny, man. Philip Cooper says, I don't think you've ever had a problem talking about other things. That's what makes you great. You have a way of opening up topics that most of us never thought about. You do you. Thank you, Philip. And I consider him a friend. He's been to my house. We've sat down and had dinner together, him and his family and my family. I'm going to do me, man. I'm not going to change anything. Why would I do that if it's not broke? See, this is what happens to us in our country. They'll say, oh, you're no longer relevant anymore. Well, then I'll go somewhere else where I'm relevant. I'm not ready to, I'm going to delay my irrelevance as long as I can. And some guy says, oh, well, people don't worry about that. Yeah, you do. You do worry about being relevant in our own way. It's nothing for you to lose sleep over, but Frank Tate says, if you want a good steak, go to Wolfgang's, but it costs. Yeah, anything like that is going to be, if you want to get something good, you got to pay for it. But every city like that, you're going to find Western food. But Gunny's, I'm talking about, they got good steak there. He's got good everything there, man. The burgers are delicious, man. And Mike's Beer and Burgers, he used to have one here in the Philippines, in San Carlos City. He just passed away, but the pandemic did him in. Gunny, he's retired from the Marines. He kept his restaurant open during the pandemic. Even though he didn't get a lot of business, he did it for his employees. That's a noble thing to do. So I don't know if he was able to keep his connections too or whatever it was, but he's got good food, man. Curtis Thomas said, man, I guess it's expensive everywhere. Everyone trying to move to the Philippines. I guess all these countries want people to be homeless. Well, that's just the way it is over there. Is it true capitalism over there? Capitalism just means everything's for sale. That's just all it means. And it's just getting more and more expensive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with living in America. I just got tired of working to live. It just, you don't get a break over there. You have to just keep on working, and literally until you die, really. I tell the story over and over about my sister. I think it's a shame that a woman 70 years old has to go back to work because she still has to pay her mortgage. I think at some point you should be able to, retire. But if okay, 62, I told you guys I get 1,700 as it stands right now. Remember, I got 2 more years. 1,700. Could I retire in America off of that? No, I'd have to continue to work. Even if I stayed into 67, it's 2,500. I'd still have to work, really, man. It's not a lot of money. Yeah, Omar chose to go that route. He did. He really was a good blogger. He knew a lot about the Philippines and everything like that. He said, but Omar chose to go that route. He was bashing multiple vloggers all at the same time. Tim K got a hold of him and scared him off for a while. He's rearing his ugly head again, but he's got an evil heart. Yeah, see, the only thing that saved him was Tim K. Because if it would have been anybody else, I think they would have put their foot up in Andy Omar's behind. I think if it would have been anybody else, they would have, because, he goes for the juggler, man. And, these trolls, they don't, they just won't tell the truth, man. And, we're not used to that coming from the West. Those are drive-bys is what I call them. They come out, they make a video about you. There's no truth to it, but it's out there. YouTube doesn't do a whole lot to protect you with that. And you just keep on doing it, and you're going to hit a nerve. And then what happens is the person finally sees you in the airport or somewhere like that, and then you got to pay the piper. So if you want to be a troll, then it's going to be consequences to that. Eventually, somebody's going to run up on you. So, troll lightly, okay? Yeah, Incel America. He says, no, 1,700 is not enough. I'm getting out this year. Should have at least 2,000. Guys, if you don't listen to anything else I have to say, stop with this nationalism stuff. The earth is your home. Go wherever you're welcome. If it's a better option, there's nowhere that's written that says you have to live your entire life where you were born. What good is that going to do you anyway? It's no shame to have to leave your country to go somewhere else. That's the beauty of the earth. That's the beauty of the world. And you didn't make the rules anyway. There's probably a reason why they keep the peso down so low and everything like that. You don't think you have anything to do with that, do you? And that's the problem. He said, did you ever sit down with Filipino men to get their opinion on foreigners in their country? I don't have to, because you're welcome here as long as you stay in your lane. The Filipino men here, I just made a video, last week or 2 weeks ago. They treat me better than the women here. They treat you like a celebrity here. They're more interested in you than the women because, they don't get to meet a lot of foreign men unless it's their sister's foreign boyfriend or something like that. Remember, they don't have a pussy, guys, okay? They're basically, what we do is we ignore them, which is bad, man. On our part, okay? We ignore them. We come to their country and we ignore them completely because we don't have relationships with them. Like I said, we think they have nothing to offer us, but you're welcome, but they're not going to let you come over here and disrespect them. I saw a little inkling of that when John of NJ Tour Cebu, we were riding in it was in the van or truck going back to the condominium, and he saw this foreigner with a young Filipino. Oh, he got mad, man. He was angry about that. And I was like, what's going on, John? He said, man, I don't like that. I was like, what? He's like, she's too young. I said, well, how you know? I said, as long as she's 18. He's like, no, man, she's too young for him. And then he threw out a figure. He said, as long as she's 23 to 30, I don't care. But anything younger than that, it makes me angry. And that's the first time I'd ever heard any Filipino man say anything like that. So it kind of gave me an inkling about what a lot of them say. And then when I first met Roger of Roger and Isme channel, I asked him, he was over at Booby's birthday party. I said, what do y'all think when y'all see foreigners with Filipinos? And he said, it's all about the money. But he also said this, and this is what caught my ear. He said, why are you with him when you could be with me? I was here already. See, and when he said that, my ears perked up. I'm like, wow, but they were never going to come out and say that to you, man. Just come over here and, respect people in their homeland. Frank Tate says the Filipino man will look out for you, get hurt, and see how they will run to help you. Yeah. Remember, I told you it was a Filipino man that gave me that money to get my wife and my son out of the hospital. It was a Filipino man. This guy was earning probably about $140 a month. I was shocked that he even had it. He didn't say, here, I'm going to loan you the money. He gave it to me. Of course, I paid it back. But I'm saying, it was a man that did that. He didn't have to do that, man. Come on, imagine that. So yeah, they're real, they're just real humble. They're just real gracious on the surface, but if you mess up, okay, if you overstep your boundaries, you're going to see that they've got a mean streak over here. They're going to protect their turf and they'll cut you in half and you won't know what's coming. You won't know. Yeah. He said, I asked Roger, I said, what do you think when you see a Filipino with a foreigner? And he says, it's all about the money. But then he said, well, why aren't you with me? He said, he's thinking, why aren't you with me instead of him? I was here already. Okay. AC King says, some people shout for freedom, but then they object to certain people being free. It's like they think freedom is only for the privileged. Yeah, about 140 per month. Now, this was in 2010. But I'm going to show you how the universe works. This young man, his name is Robert Nulado Jr. He's from Miagao, Iloilo. He was living in Zamboanga City at the time. When you help other people, you help yourself. The law of compensation, when he made his mind up to help me, here comes the law of compensation. Now, he was a local seaman, just going from Zamboanga to Tawi, from Zamboanga to Bazilan, to Honolulu. Now, he's a legitimate seaman, international seaman, going around the world, earning big money now. Okay. And I think it had everything to do with him loaning me that money. Well, really giving it to me. So that's really how that works. Yeah. But he comes from a great family. They live in Miagao, Iloilo. It's about 45 minutes outside Iloilo City. And this is a part of the Philippines we never see. I'm talking about the real middle class, where they built their own home, nice home. They built their mother and father a home because they're all seamen. Then right next door is his brother's got a nice home. They own their own motorcycles, 4 or 5 of them. I'm talking about tricycles. That's another business. I mean, they've got a rice. They grow their own rice. They get maybe 50, 60, 50 kilo sacks every, season. See, you very seldom do you associate with Filipinos like that over here, but it's a lot of them over here like that. But they live, you have to know them, and they have their own little areas where they live. But it's a lot of them over here, man. Before the pandemic, the Philippines had one of the fastest growing economies in all of Asia, man. I keep saying that over and over. It's hard to believe it now because the pandemic set the Philippines back 20 years. But before that, man, I mean, it was really booming over here. Let's see. Incel America said Roger don't need to complain about shit. He got to start. Yeah, I guess he was talking about before, he met Ismi. But I just asked him because I never asked anybody that before. So maybe that's what they all, a lot of them say. But you remember, this isn't new. They've seen this for generations upon generations. It's nothing new. They used to be a colony of the United States. So they used to seeing foreigners and their women. Even before that, 1899, we've been here at least. So yeah. Let's see what we got here. Michael Culpepper says, okay, Gangster Gummy Bear, there are neighborhoods in the cities of America that you cannot walk through because you will not walk out of it, and there's a reason for it. Yeah, well, there's always a reason for that. Like I said, there's no place you can go that's perfect. That's why I say you got to try to give as balanced videos as you possibly can. You can't keep sugarcoating it over here, guys. It's not going to do you any good when you get over here. You're going to be disappointed because they're building it up real high. Reality could never match it, what they're trying to do. But when you come over here, you're going to see reality is a whole lot better than fantasy. The way I'm living, I really can't really articulate it to you without somebody taking offense to it and saying, oh, you're exploiting Filipino women and stuff like that. But guys, the life I'm living is a whole lot better than fantasy. Anything these guys are giving you on these videos, okay? Just take my word for it. And anybody's word that lives over here. That's how good it is. But we got to know your lane. You got to know your boundaries. I'm not going to get explicit like that anymore as I used to. I've learned, I've evolved over this last 2.5 years or whatever it's been. I'm not going to stay the same, but I don't think it's my place to do that anyway. I mean, E. Parker said, Calvin, you ever think about interviewing Filipino men? Well, see, they're very, very shy, man. And the ones that I come across, a lot of them work for the government, so they don't want to be seen. And, they're just too shy. I just haven't run into the right situation yet. I'm open to it. Of course, I'm open to it because it's a lot of questions I want to ask. Okay. It's just like with Roger. See, if I interviewed Roger, I'd probably make him uncomfortable because I'd ask him questions that he really don't want to tell, the answers of which he doesn't want you to know. So I don't even ask him. I got that much respect for him because I would ask him stuff and make him say it to you on the camera, which he's not going to do it on his own. It's just like those two girls I interviewed. Sometimes, you just ask them something just to see what they're going to say. Will they go against their culture? And most of the time it's not, man. So I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. But if he ever came to me and said, hey, Cal, let me interview. Would you interview me for your channel? See, he doesn't need me to do that anymore because I've already pushed them out there. They're well on their way. They're doing great. They're holding their own. He doesn't need me now. But as far as the Filipino men, it's very few that would do that, man. They're very private like that. Dana said, speaking of 1899, what do you know about General David Fagan? Among other people, guys, we always talk about him only. There was a lot of black men who deserted the U.S. Army and joined the Filipino forces in the Filipino-American War. Not just him. He became a hero over here, but it was more. Raise your hand if you even heard about, if they taught you the Filipino-American War in school. They didn't teach it to you, but it was real. It happened. And General David Fagan was one of the guys, one of the black men who deserted the U.S. Army and joined the Philippines. Because you got to understand, in 1899, they treated black soldiers just as bad as they was treating the Filipinos. So they could relate to the Filipinos, and they're saying, okay, now's my time to strike back. I'm going to join forces over here and fight you guys, you know, because I know when I get back home, you're liable to lynch me, you know, which is what they used to do coming from World War I when black men wore their uniforms in town. You couldn't even do that. We could go off and fight, okay? He said, why did you choose St. Carlos City instead of Dumaguete? Only because Maryland lived here. Only because Maryland lived here. I never heard of St. Carlos City before. But when I came here, you know, it's such a nice place, man. When you come here, you're going to see it. And you're going to be like, man, you know, it's nice, but it's for either you passing through or if you retired, okay? Because this isn't a party town. It's a beautiful place, but it's not a party central. There's no nightlife here. But you're close enough. Efren Dunlap says, reality is hard for some to understand or deal with. Being here in the Philippines is so much better than those that have never been here can imagine from vlogs or otherwise. And see, you're thank you, brother. And I know you're telling the truth. Because I met you over here. I see the life you're living. Reality is a whole lot better than the fantasy they're trying to sell you guys. But y'all push back on me when I give you reality. I can make reality just as it's a whole lot better if I wanted to. I'm not going to do it, though. I want you to come over here. Yeah, 100% the truth. Yeah, there's a lot of black men, not just him, that deserved it. But you just got to take my word for it. Some things is better that you learn on your own. And that's one of them. These people are selling you a dream out there. A lot of vloggers are. And I don't knock them for whatever they need to do to get their views up and keep their views up and keep their money coming in. Because being a YouTube vlogger is not easy. We make it look easy. So I'll never knock them. I'm just telling you that you're getting sold a lot of dreams out here. And the only reason I know is because I live over here. I've been over here. I've never sold dreams. I told you my boots on the ground experience, what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. And it's a whole lot better than what a lot of these people are selling because they're only giving you a very, very small percentage of it. You know, when I talk about the girlfriend experience and I talk about that stuff, it's real. Okay. Yeah, he said. Really? Globalismo Black Man said Duterte mentioned the American-Filipino War. I had no idea. Yeah, see, this is why I like Duterte. Now I'm not talking politics, but I liked him because Duterte knew history. He was a lawyer. He was proud of Filipino history, and he would always push back when America would come over here with that human rights stuff. And he would say, "You're hypocrites." He said, "Stop shooting black men in the back over there before you come over here and talk about our human rights violations." He said that, guys. I'm not joking. I'm not imagining, this. It's just facts, is what Duterte said. He said there should be a movie about Fagan. If it is, then only the Filipinos will be able to make the movie. Because you're going to get a traitor. You're going to get a traitor. If Americans tell the story, then he's a traitor. But if the Philippines tell the story, he's a hero. And we know so little about him. No one would go to see him. We don't even know about the Filipino-American War, man. It was so bad that they called it the Asian Holocaust. Y'all didn't even realize that, man. America, we killed a lot of Filipinos over here, man. It depends on who you want to believe it's anywhere between 600,000 and 1 million Filipinos. At one time, they gave the order, the general did. He eventually was brought to court march. He gave the order to kill every Filipino 10 years old and up because Filipinos start fighting back. We come over here, we thought these, natives, it's going to be over with. It's sort of like what we thought when we went to Vietnam and all these other places where we think we're just going to go in and people are just going to lay down and surrender. No, Filipinos start fighting back, killing American soldiers. And they said, okay, we got to turn up the heat. And they turned up the damn heat. That's why when you go down in Mindanao, they don't like you down there because of the mass graves and stuff. See, we don't know enough about history, but we come over here thinking we know something about the history. It goes a whole lot deeper than General MacArthur, guys. That's the bullshit, sugar-coated story that they give us about American and the Philippines, the relationship that we have. That's the sugar-coated version. The real version is we were killing people wholesale over here, putting them in mass graves, okay, and damn near destroyed this country, man. So that's the facts. So if you don't want to hear the facts, then keep scrolling. Yeah, mind your own business. Now you remember he put you forgot to put shut the fuck up and mind your own business. Because we always come over here trying to think we know what's best for the Philippines. You don't even know what's best for you. Over here talking out loud or putting the country down in front of their citizens, man. We have to do better, man. We have to do better. There's no excuse because you drunk at the bar or whatever like that. You can't, imagine trying to run a country, man. You can't run a country. The Philippines is only 76 years old as far as being, I'm talking about removed from Spanish rule and American rule. Dana Middleton says there were hundreds of black soldiers who joined the Army of the Philippines and stayed and raised families. Absolutely. But this is something that the typical American doesn't know because the only reason I heard about it, I was down in Mindanao. I was bored. Somehow, some way I came across the Filipino-American War. I was reading something and it shocked me, man. I couldn't stop reading. I read for about 4 or 5 hours. And my mouth hit the ground because I had never heard about it. Because y'all always say, oh, the Filipinos, they speak good English. There's a reason why, guys, that they speak English. It's the law. It was the law over here. Hey, Mr. Pirate Brain, what's going on? Superstitions in the Philippines say, Calvin, you're the only Philippine, what's he saying? Water that made without a drone. I don't understand. What's up, quiet dude? Thanks for that super sticker. He said, quiet dude says, I appreciate your words about not ignoring the Filipino men. Thanks for the reminder. I enjoy working with Filipino Marines. Yeah, we do. If I wasn't guilty of it myself, I would talk about how bad it looks. But it's basically what we do. We ignore them, but they go out of their way to befriend us over here, man. Everywhere you go, man, they speak to you. The police, the military, the security, the people in the stock clerks, the ones at the restaurant, they all go out their way. One little Filipino guy called me his idol the other day. You know what I'm saying, man? I mean, it's touching, man, but we ignore them, man. And I think it's a bad look. It's a bad look on us, man, because we act like they don't have anything to offer, but we're missing 50% of the story when we ignore the Filipino man. He can give us inside information that no one else can do. See? That no one else can do but him. And remember, we have him to thank for the Filipino woman being the way she is in a lot of ways. We have him to thank for that, but we don't thank him. See, they wasn't born and then like he didn't have nothing to do with that. He does. He's the father, he's the grandfather, he's the leaders and all that, the teachers and all that kind of stuff, man. The priests, but we ignore them, guys. Hey, Chad, Lisa, thanks for your honest opinions. I watch most of your videos and have put a lot of credit to your opinions and advice. Well, thank you. You know, and this is what I was talking with a guy today. You know, I said, it's just my perspective, guys. It's not the gospel. You know, people always get on there, oh, you don't speak for all men. I know I don't. He said, all men are different and we come to the Philippines for different reasons. Duh. Thanks for that earth-shattering news, man. Okay. But I don't understand it. You know, I'm just giving you my perspective. What I'm seeing, you're going to see something different. Then make your channel. Michael said, Cal, I know you get a lot of looks from other Filipinos. Is your lady jealous type and how you handle that? Well, they all are. And they're always looking at you and seeing where your eyes are. And even if she don't say anything, she is, man. They're very, very jealous, man. And that's why I tell you know, guys were thinking I'm joking when I say, look, man, when you come over here, wear a pair of dark sunglasses. Get you a good pair of sunglasses, man, because once they see you start looking, man, it's a sign of disrespect. And no matter how good it's going, you can destroy it all by butt watching over here or staring at a woman too long. Remember, you're not at home, man, you know, and there's a reason they give you their all because they want all of you. See, so when, yeah, they're jealous, man. And, you know, yeah, the Spanish-American War, we all know about. Now, Seth's Travel Vlogs, I'd like to interview her because I believe I can get some gems out of Seth. And the next time I'm in Dumaguete, Seth, I'd like to interview you because you gave one of the all-time gems as far as I'm concerned that a Filipino vlogger ever got it. Because I asked you, I said, why do Filipinos date older men? And you said, because they can stay here with us. We don't like long distance relationships. That was about as honest of an answer that I've ever heard of a Filipino give. Besides the other one the other day from Wing, when I said, well, why do foreigners get it so easy versus the Filipino men? She said, because we know foreign men are a great catch and they can change our lives in an instant. See, this is the honesty that I love. You know, I know you got it in you, but somebody's got to pull it out. Dana Millicent says, why do you think the bloggers chose to avoid you? I have no idea. That's a good question for them. You know, I can see why a lot of the Filipino bloggers do, because maybe they don't feel comfortable around me. I'm a big black guy, they look like, you know. But a lot of the newer ones do because they know I can help them. But as far as me, anything past me helping them, I couldn't tell you. I don't know why. I just know that I see some crazy combinations and I'm like, well, why would you bypass me to go all the way over and interview Sharon Lapu Lapu? Like, really? And I'm right here on the same island as you. But that's a good question for them. And I'm nothing special, guys. I'm just, it just makes you go, I wonder why people, I was shocked that Justin, see, that's why I tell you, Justin's a good guy. Justin Cormack, he's the one who invites me to those meet and greets down in Dumaguete. Not Paul, not Mark, not the rest of them. But I'm so glad that I went, man, because I met so many great guys down there. I've got a whole different outlook and perspective about what's going on in Dumaguete because Justin said, hey, man, why don't you come to the meet and greet? And he put my name on the flyer, man. See, that's what I'm talking about. It doesn't take a whole lot to do that. I'm so far from everybody else. So for him to do that, man, I tipped my hat to him. And I said, okay, I'll come. And both times I came, man, it's just great people down there. You know, I've got a whole different view of what goes on with that community down there. But that's a good question. I don't know. I'm sure they know I'm here. They do know I'm here. Because when I go down there, all their viewers know me. All their subscribers know me. So to think that they don't know me, you know, but remember, they don't need me, guys. These vloggers are so much bigger than me. They don't need me. So maybe that's it, Dana. They're just so much bigger than me that they don't need me. Yeah, Black Turn 34 says because you're not keeping up with the theatrics, so you won't help the ratings. I just think that they know I'm raw. They know I'm going to talk about stuff that maybe they don't want on their channel. Maybe they don't feel comfortable with me talking, things that they're not comfortable talking about on their channel, because I've got so many things I can ask them. Remember, I'm good at this. I was an insurance agent. I had to sit there and ask strangers questions all day long about their lives and everything like that. So yeah, they know I'm going to ask them questions. See, if Filipino P, she would never interview me because she know I'm gonna put her on the hot seat. Even if she interviews me, I'm gonna ask her questions, man, and pull out stuff that she would never tell you. And not because I have anything against her, because I want to know myself. I want to know myself. Mike Dawsonville says, when you ask Filipino men their opinion about us dating Filipinos, they beat around the question. They won't give you a straightforward answer. Well, Roger did, and I give him credit for that, because I asked him. We were this close from me to this camera. He was over there for Booby's birthday, and I said, I've never asked a Filipino man this before, but what do y'all think about Filipinos dating foreigners? And he told me he was honest about it. Now, what would he say now that he's a big-time vlogger? It'd probably be something different. But at that time, y'all didn't even know he existed. He was just my neighbor from across the street. But he gave me the nitty-gritty. Yeah, they went to sharing Lapu-Lapu. When I saw the Filipino P interview and sharing Lapu-Lapu, I was just kind of shocked. I was like, well, wow, that's kind of but I don't know. Maybe he's trying to help a fellow Filipino. But they don't want me on their channels because they know I'm going to give them the nitty-gritty. I'm going to give you guys the nitty-gritty. Okay, and they don't want that. E. Parker says you have to be the first to interview the Filipino men that you can before someone else does and sets a narrative. Well, Filipino P has done it before, but, of course, these are her friends. These are the sugar-coated guys. I want a guy like John. See, if I ever see John again, I interview him because John will tell you the nitty-gritty. I rode around with John and we had a discussion. I'm like, wow, if you would only come on my channel and say this kind of stuff, you would open up a whole lot of eyes. See, he's the one told me the story about the German that got his ass kicked here for trying to disrespect those two bar girls. And John was like, yeah, to you, they're bar girls, but to us, they're Filipinas. We know that it's hard over here. We know that sometimes women have to do that to feed their families. He said, we don't look down on them like y'all do. See, if I could ever get him to say that on screen, see, this is how they really think, a lot of them. Okay? Hey, I'm sorry. My eyes are so bad. He said, thanks, Mithring Gill, for the super chat. He said, the only reason I know about the Dumagetti vloggers is because of you, Calvin. Cheers. Hey, thank you, man. It's some great vloggers down there, and they've got just a heck of a following, man. But I just think that, no, I'm sorry. No, they don't hate black men. Who said that? Where'd you get that? Here I am. Do I look? Well, I'm brown. But I know what you. Of course not. Filipinos, they love our culture. They love a black man's culture. You got to understand, basketball is the #1 sport here other than cockfighting. Cockfighting is more lucrative, okay? because you know it's way more lucrative than the PBA and all them little leagues. But the most popular sport is basketball over here. I mean, when Kobe Bryant came here in 2010, man, it was like Jesus was here, man. I mean, all over Asia, man. Kobe Bryant, he was bigger than Michael Jordan over here. I'm just saying, man, Kobe Bryant was like a god. It's the same thing right now as we speak. I don't know if he's gone or not. I forgot to mention this on my last live stream. Um, what's your name was here right now? What's his name? Carmelo Anthony. He's here in the Philippines right now, unless he's already left. He was here for about a week. I think he's promoting that Fila basketball, but he was at a couple. They showed him at a couple of games. I think the Philippine team against the Lebanon, and they showed him, you know, talking with players, and they showed him at Rizal Park in front of the Rizal Monument, you know, taking pictures and stuff. Yeah, you know, but no, when Stephon Curry comes over here, or LeBron James, you might as well shut the whole country down. No, you know. Yeah, don't bring that in here, man. You're right. But hey, guys, I want to thank you. I got to get off here. Remember, Sunday, this is when we go to the grocery store. I want to thank y'all for your super chats, your super stickers, all your thumbs up, all your support of Sunshine Shoulders, man. You know, this next meet and greet is going to be in Cebu, guys. It's going to be off the chart. It's going to be the best meet and greet ever of any other vlogger. One of the guys I'm gonna have on the panel Monday, I think his name is Sway. He's a YouTube blogger, but he's a internationally recognized writer on the Philippines. He messaged me. He said, "Hey, I want to be on your panel," and he gave me some ideas. There's a couple of places he suggested I talk to that they would probably let me do it, because it's a lot of Sunshine Shoulders subscribers and followers and viewers in in Cebu, man. It will be a blast, guys. So it's probably gonna be at the later on this month, or maybe the beginning of April. Okay. Thank y'all so much. Go and watch that video I made, guys, and don't push back. I know it's gonna strike at some of our egos, but it's just letting you look at things a different way. That's why I try to make videos. I don't try to make 7 things I didn't know about the Philippines. I did all that in the beginning, guys, but you got to grow out of that stuff. So now I'm thinking, you know, why do men really come here? Do you really go through all of that just to meet a woman? It's hard for me to believe that you do that. It's got to be an underlying reason. And so I went to bed with it, and it came to my mind. You know, maybe we're trying to delay our irrelevance, you know. Maybe we still want the spotlight. We still got something to prove. Because at 60, you're really not an old man. You know, they call you OG at 60. They'll call you OG at 40, really. And anybody knows what OG means, you know, old gangster. You know, they actually call you an old man. I think it's disrespectful to do that. So I just wanted to look at it at a different angle. And that's what a lot of my videos are trying to do. But thank y'all so much. I really appreciate it, man. I promise you, guys. Okay? Take care, everybody. I'll see y'all next time. Oh, shoot. What am I doing? I hit the wrong button.